Stronger teams, smarter plays. This is Hustle and Heart. Let's get to work.
Season Journal, Entry 14. Coach started today with the highlight reel. No stats, no spreadsheets, just a few photos pulled up on his monitor. Dana's crew resetting a mulch edge perfectly straight. A screenshot of a 5-star Google review with Jason's name in it. Mike's truck, spotless and stocked for the next day. This is what we celebrate, Coach said, leaning on the table. Not the scoreboard, not the sale, the right plays, the habits that make the rest easier. He pointed at the screen. Dana, precision. Jason, connection. Mike, pride. Do those 3 things every week, and the wins take care of themselves. The room got quiet, but not in a heavy way, more like everyone was taking mental notes. Recognition didn't sound like applause anymore, it sounded like instruction. By lunch, Dana had already texted Jason a thank you for having materials ready that morning. He sent back, trying to make the highlight reel again. We laughed, but we meant it.
Yeah, most of us grew up thinking recognition is about the big moment. But what actually changed my own trajectory, I had this mentor, Julie, who would pause meetings, just stop everything, to spotlight the moment I spoke up or help someone quietly solve a problem, not just when I scored the points. She made those little invisible assists visible. Suddenly it was like, oh, that's what matters around here. Suddenly I started looking for those moments in others too. Recognition shapes the culture because it says, do this again, this is who we are. That mentor basically rewrote the story I told myself about what leadership really looks like.
And you're both nailing the point. It's the behaviors you commemorate that end up on replay for the team every day. Think about that highlight reel as your culture's playbook. It's not a spreadsheet. It's a blueprint for what good actually looks like, moment to moment, on the job. And I've seen it again and again. When a manager only highlights sales numbers, everyone chases solo wins. When you throw in a clip of a crew jumping in to solve a tricky problem together, suddenly folks want to be part of that. It's contagious. Which, by the way, ties in exactly to our episode about assists. Like, recognition isn't just applause, it's your signal to the whole team. Hey, this is what we chase.
Totally, Miles. And honestly, some of the best stuff gets missed if all we look at is results. Who took that gross job nobody else wanted? Who said, hey, do you need help? When everyone was dragging? That sort of hustle and those creative solves. Man, if we plug those into the highlight reel, suddenly people start flexing those moves every time. I'd put money on that.
And the beauty is these aren't just good vibes or warm fuzzies, they're signals. So think, what do I want my team to repeat next week? That's what goes on my highlight reel, the most overlooked moments, hustle, quick thinking, that honest feedback nobody wanted to give. Those are the plays culture grows from. That's how recognition starts coaching people forward, not just rewarding what already happened.
Which honestly is the difference between teams that coast and teams that build momentum each week. The highlight reel is your secret weapon for dialing in what winning looks like every single day. And that's why we got to bust this myth. Recognition isn't some bonus, it's core strategy. There's this old school vibe that unless you hook someone up with a big prize or certificate, it doesn't count. But in reality, it's those shout-outs for tiny but meaningful moves that build up your team's identity. As we touched on a few episodes ago, culture is built in the locker room before the whistle. Recognition is how you teach and reinforce that DNA every day. For me, one play that's a game changer is what I call the tell them why it matters move. Don't just recognize someone, explain why. Hey Anna, love that you stepped in for inventory yesterday. Because of you, we finished early and actually caught a mistake before it hit the client. That way she knows not just what was good, but why it matters and how it fits in the bigger scene.
I love that, and I gotta jump in with something that happened last spring. So we did this shout out in our morning huddle for the crew that cleaned up a job site faster than anyone expected. It wasn't about fast, though. It was the way they left it better than they found it. Every single detail tight. We kept calling it out, right down to the tiny stuff. And something amazing happened. Suddenly, nobody wanted to be sloppy anymore. For 3 months, it was competition. Oh, you think your truck's cleaner than ours? That's when you know recognition stuck. It actually raised the bar for everybody, but it wasn't formal. Just real, honest credit, team to team, peer to peer.
That's it. It's culture coaching, not just cheerleading. When you get specific in public, it cues everyone on what to value. It's not just, hey, great job, but here's why that matters. Here's the impact on the rest of us. Here's how that move changes the whole game. Psychology backs this up too. When people feel seen for the right behaviors, those behaviors multiply. That's the power of what Adam Grant calls reinforcing the right story. So don't sleep on those moments. Actually, make a habit of doubling down, connect the dots out loud, and you'll watch the ripple effects spread through the team.
Exactly, and don't overthink it. You don't need huge programs, just clear, consistent, honest call-outs. It's the daily highlight reels that reset the expectation, way more than a once-a-year trophy on a shelf.
So right here is where it gets real. If all we do is talk, nothing changes, right? You want to move the needle? Make recognition stick by getting it in motion. No excuses. There's a million ways to do it. A Friday MVP group text so folks see invisible wins, a sticky note wall in the break room where anybody can give a quick shout out, even just sharing a client compliment in the all-hands meeting. Make that your team's highlight reel. I like micro highlights in our huddles. Hey, Emmy spotted an oil leak before we rolled out this morning. Saved us a headache down the line. Instant culture booster, I promise. And the trick is, name what someone did and what it did for the team or the customer. That's how it sticks.
Urgency matters here. If you want tangible results, not just good vibes, pick one thing to recognize this week and go all in on it. Make it public, make it personal, make it actionable. Think about the last time someone's quiet effort made your day easier or saved a client relationship. Tell that story out loud. Repeat it until it becomes common practice. Because honestly, the plays you highlight today are the ones you'll see tomorrow. Recognition teaches what to chase again and again.
Here's the bottom line. If you're listening, don't just nod along. Action is the dirty little secret behind every winning team, on the field or on the job. Post a win on the sticky note wall. Fire off that Friday text thread. Work someone's client compliment into your team huddle. That's how habits build and culture shifts. Don't wait till next quarter. Get your reps in this week. The only way recognition sticks is if it's lived out loud.
Trust me, I've seen the difference when you actually show some hustle with these action items. So, listeners, this week, pick one thing to recognize and get loud about it. Don't wait for perfect timing. Action items are where you see change. Be the voice on your crew that shouts out a teammate, the one who drops that sticky note on the break room fridge. Make the highlight reel part of your rhythm. That's how you become the crew that wins, not just one that works here. Imani, Miles, final shots?
Just remember, every shout-out you give is a play call for the next round. The habit starts with you, so champion something that matters and watch your team echo it back.
Yeah, don't overthink, just do. That Friday MVP text, those sticky notes, start them now, not next month. That's how you move from listening to actually leading. Give your team their highlight reel. Make greatness repeat itself.
Till next time, keep chasing the right plays, and we'll see you on that highlight reel.
You have been listening to Hustle and Heart. Remember, champions aren't born, they're built on small daily choices.